Hello there, everybody. My name's Ryan from Askreddit Tells, and today we're going to be looking at some more r/EntitledParents. Before we do, though, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. EM shuns me for giving directions to daughter, ends up getting thrown out. Backstory: I've recently, as in 8 months ago, been diagnosed with agoraphobia. So basically, I constantly try to avoid anything that could lead to panic or embarrassment. So whenever I go out, I try to stay close to someone I trust. Or if I can't, I try to stay close to any and all exit doors or windows. This is from my personal experience, and this does not apply with everyone in the condition. Please understand this, and I think that it's extremely important to note that I am an SM, selective mute, in some situations, but in others, I can just barely speak. Characters: Karen equals entitled momster, NK, nice kid, me, and AM, amazing friend. One day a few months ago, I was at a store with my best friend, and probably the only man I trust. Us both being artists, we were looking for an array of paints and supplies, and he told me that he needed to go to the restroom and to stay there because it was not only close to an exit, but it was also close to a bathroom. I said okay, and he left to do his business, but while I was scanning the shelves for a certain product, I heard the doorbell chime, and in comes our favorite person, Karen, who was followed by a younger girl with a natural bright red hair and blue eyes. Karen said something quickly to her kid, and then they both parted ways. NK began to walk in the direction of my aisle, and I started to panic a little. When she finally reached it, she walked next to me and started to look for something. After about 40 seconds of looking, she turned to me and politely asked if I knew where a certain paint was found. Me being a regular of the store, I knew exactly where it was, but in that situation I could barely speak, let alone look at her. She realized my state and said, "Oh, take your time," and gave me a smile. After about 40 whole seconds of stuttering and slurring, I finally managed to tell her that it was in the next aisle over. She thanked me and went along with her business. All that time, my friend had just gotten back from the bathroom and saw me talking to NK, and asked me about it and asked if I was alright. After explaining everything, he calmed down, and so had I. We went on with our shopping, and we had ended up walking next to Karen, and she apparently saw this as the perfect time to ask me about talking to her daughter. And the conversation went like this: "Excuse me?" "Yes." Points to me. "Her." Me visibility confused. "Oh, yes? Speaking to my daughter?" Me already scared for my life. I was telling her where something was." Karen: "Hell no." She cuts me off by raising her hand in front of my face. "You were not telling her anything. You were flirting with her." Now at this point I realized she was saying, I was talking to her daughter. My face had gone red, and it seemed like I was doing more than just giving direction. "Oh no, ma'am, I swear it's harmless." Karen: "I don't want some fat idiot talking to my daughter." Now she raised her voice quite a bit. I would have started crying right then and there if my friend hadn't grabbed my arm and took over for me. AF: "Okay, she wasn't flirting with your damn daughter. She was helping her. And don't raise your voice. We're talking like normal people, not arguing." "Yes, she was. If she wasn't, then why was she in her face so red? And why did it take her so long, huh?" "She goes red when she's nervous, and she's got a stutter." "I don't believe that bullshit for 1 second. She was..." And here comes their daughter, obviously confused. "Hey mom, what's happening?" "I was telling this queer to stop flirting with you, that's what." Karen crossed her arms and NK sighed. "Mom, she was helping me." Once again, Karen butts in. No, I don't believe that lie for a second. I'm not gonna let this lesbian ruin my daughter." And that's final. Karen now looks at me and steps closer. "And as for you..." She pokes my chest and I nearly faint. "Stay the F away from all of mine." All of a sudden a friend pulls me back completely and goes off on Karen. Do not touch her, first off, and secondly, she doesn't want your damn daughter. After that, they both start yelling, and I begin to have a panic attack in the corner. After some time, security is called, and they ask me what's going on. Karen says, "This man tried to rape me." Like all Karens do, and after about a minute of trying to tell the officer about the rape threats my friend supposedly made, she then turns to me and says, "And that thing touched my daughter. Arrest her." The daughter cuts, but I can't hear a word after that. I remember Karen giving me death threats while she was being forced out in handcuffs, and the daughter apologizes. My friend tries to calm me down to barely succeed, and the officer asked if we wanted to press charges. I tell him no, but my friend insists on it and we end up suing her for trauma or whatever. Not too long ago I found out why she was acting like that, and turns out her daughter came out as lesbian and she just couldn't accept it, so she lashed out at any woman that talked to her daughter. She was also apparently bipolar. After everything calmed down, the daughter invited me to go get coffee with her, and turns out we've got a lot in common. She's only a year younger than me and is going to the same university as I was. After a month of talking, she asked me out, and we've been happily together ever since. By the way, sorry for the bad grammar. The format in this was rushed. Thank you for your time. PSA, red faces equals lesbian. Thank you. EM says I don't need a car, even though I'm an essential worker, then tries to steal it. Hey again guys, I'm sorry if this seems like a long rant, but I'm so furious right now I need to get this off my chest. A little backstory. Right now I'm a student in college pursuing a degree in child development psychotherapy this semester. I got an internship from a local mental hospital so I could get an experience and make it easier for me to get into grad school later on. The hospital I work at isn't just a facility for short-term patients though. Some of the people who live there are permanent residents, ranging in age from 6 to 78. For various reasons, residents' privacy, I won't name specifics out of respect. Basically, our goal is to do everything possible to help people recover from a mental illness and episode and be able to provide a comfortable quality of life for our permanent residents. Needless to say, I deeply enjoyed my internship there. After the initial outbreak, all internships within the hospital were suspended until further notice. So I stopped going for a good 3 weeks and tried to focus on school. Then one of my old bosses called me, in tears, filling me in on the current state of the hospital. There had been 3 positive cases of the outbreak, of which 2 had passed away. 12 employees had quit or simply not come into work at all anymore, and to top it off, there was a surge in people admitting themselves or others to the facility. A good chunk of people admitted were children whose parents claimed they had some sort of mental defect, although I suspect they simply didn't know what to do with them. Once she had finished telling me about the situation, I immediately begged her to put me on the next work schedule. She agreed, and I've been working there ever since. Now, I don't want to come across as arrogant or pretending to be a martyr or anything like that. In all honesty, I think I'm very underqualified compared to someone with actual medical experience/training. But I know it's for these people at the hospital who are dependent for our care, support, love, and help. And I will be goddamned if I just sit by and watch bad things happen to these people. Simple as that. Sorry, long backstory, on to the actual story. Ever since I started working at the hospital, my hours have been absolutely insane. There have been times where I've spent 48 to 50 hours straight in the building. I eat when I can, I sleep in 3-hour intervals. That way I can get up in the middle of the night and check on our residents and patients. I do my virtual lectures and homework while organizing patient files. As awful and maybe selfish as this sounds, I do try to get on my Switch around midnight and take care of my Animal Crossing town. I'm weak. Basically, I'm lucky if I'm able to spend 30 hours at my home. That's where our entitled mother, EM, comes into the picture. If you've read the edit on my last EM post, yes, it is the same woman. You already know this, but if you didn't, she basically got arrested for drug possession and subsequently lost custody of her son. Ever since, she's been absolutely desperate to get custody of him again, so she's been scrambling between family members trying to acquire things that make her look like a responsible parent. Baby gates, child safety locks, a new fridge, a new bed, countless new toys. I could go on and on, however, she wants her dad, my stepdad, for the most expensive thing that she needed, a car. My stepdad refused because he was recently laid off because of the pandemic, and we can't really afford to be buying someone something so expensive and not be able to use it. I've been giving a portion of my paychecks to my parents to help ease the burden. It's not much in the grand scheme of things, but it's enough. I don't think we're in trouble financially, but if my worst came to worst, I would start giving 100% of my paycheck to them. After this conversation, EM drove to our house. Yes, drove. She had a car, and tried to plead her case with my stepdad again. I was sleeping in my room at this point, but my stepdad told me again about the conversation, and it basically went like this. Dad, please. I wouldn't be asking if it wasn't important. You already have a car, though. Yeah, but it's not an awesome car. I need one with heated seats and built-in GPS. I don't think a judge would really care what kind of car you have, as long as it's a car. You are so selfish. I need this, so I can get my son back, and you aren't even willing to help. How could you let my baby be taken away without helping me get him back? Don't you think your grandson deserves something nice after what he's been through? I can't afford it. I'm sorry, even if I wanted to, I can't do anything. Then let me have OP's car. OP needs that car to go to work. She's an essential worker. That's debatable. Making sure some psycho doesn't off themselves isn't really essential. I bet she doesn't even do anything anyways. She's probably just lying about the job so she can go get high or mess with some dude. Dad, I am your daughter. She is nothing but some half-breed. I'm mixed race. Bitch, just give me the car. The answer is no. Get out. Figure this shit out yourself. I'm not helping you. I thought the situation was over after that conversation, but nope. I don't know how she did it, but EM got my work's address and went there while I was working. I was on hour 5 of an 18-hour shift when my boss took me aside and told me that my car had been vandalized and that he had called the police. When I went to look outside, I saw EM handcuffed and arguing with a police officer in front of my car. Apparently, she had tried to steal my car by breaking the driver's side window and attempting to hotwire my car. When she couldn't hotwire my car, she got out, broke one of my taillights, then keyed a word that I morally refused to even type on my driver's side door. As pathetic as this sounds, I started sobbing as soon as I saw the damage. Maybe it was the lack of sleep catching up to me, maybe it was the shock. All I know is that I was gross crying in front of my boss, EM, and the police. EM was yelling things at me, but I couldn't tell you what they were if I tried. I just went into autopilot. I gave my statement to the police, confirmed that I wanted to press charges, called a tow for my poor car, and took an Uber home. I honestly hope that was the end of her bullshit, at least for a while, because I don't think I can handle any more of her. Everything right now, I fixed my car as much as I could on my budget. I had an extra tail light, so I put it in. I put a trash bag over the broken window and used duct tape to cover up the word she keyed onto my door. Sure, it looks super ugly, but it still runs. I'm just thankful that she didn't cut anything important. The ironic thing is, my stepdad's family is talking about pooling money together so they can get me a new car. When my stepdad asked me if I had any references, I told him I wanted heated seats and a built-in GPS. Oh, sweet karma. Bail has not been set yet on EM, but all I know is that after this, she is not getting her son back. I'm happy for that, though. That boy deserves so much more than she could give, and maybe now he will get it. Thanks for listening to my rant, you guys. Stay safe out there. Edit. Boss calls at 3 a.m., approving weekend PTO to catch up on college work. Me, happy noises. Logs on to Reddit and looks at Animal Crossing memes before going back to sleep and sees this post has a lot of upvotes and comments. Me, happy noises intensifies. Sees post on top of trending on r/entitledparents. Me, happy screeching. Sees award. Me, unholy noises of joy. I have so many emotions right now. Grateful, humbled, and tired. Very, very tired. I'm going to go to sleep for 1 billion years now. I'll most likely be back tomorrow though. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of r/entitledparents. Did you like it? Maybe check out some of our other stuff and even subscribe. As always, my name's Ryan Cole, the official host of Askreddit Tells, and I look forward to seeing you guys in tomorrow's video.